What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Learning the Lore. I am, of course, your host, Steven, and today we're going to be learning about the EFREETI. Now, normally I jump into this and do a random pick from the monster manual of one that I haven't seen, but because we did Azers last week, we're doing EFREETI, because they are the sworn enemy. We learned about the EFREETI a little bit last week, so we're diving into it full-fledged, full force this week. So without further ado, let's learn about these. EFREETI, hulking genies of the elemental plane of fire. The EFREET are masters of flame, immune to fire and able to create it on a whim. Fine silk caftans and damask robes drape their magma red or coal black skin, and they bedeck themselves in brass and gold torques, chains, and rings, all glittering with jewels. When an EFREETI flies, its lower body transforms into a column of smoke and embers. Okay, so obviously we know that they're on the same plane of existence as the Azers, the plane of fire. They are able to create it. I think that the Azers are just always on fire. These exist on the same plane as the Azers. Naturally, that's how they can be at war with one another. But clearly, like they bedeck themselves in jewels and things like that, like we can see here. This guy's not so much, but a little bit here, and things like on that. And what I'm guessing is that these are taken from the Azers that dig them up. But they're genies, so that's crazy. I did not realize that these were going to be that the EFREET were genies. I knew a little bit about them, but I did not know that. Haughty and cruel. Haughty. Oh, he's a haughty. The EFREET are deceptive, cunning, and cruel to the point of ruthlessness. They despise being forced into servitude and are relentless in pursuit of vengeance against creatures that have wronged them. EFREET don't see themselves in this light, naturally, and regard their race as fair and orderly, even as they admit to an enlightened sense of self-interest. So they know that they're selfish, but they won't admit that they're dicks, naturally. Spiteful enslavers. EFREET view all other creatures as enemies or potential serfs. They raid the material plane and the elemental planes, bringing captives back to their homes on the elemental plane of fire. EFREET are oppressive tyrants towards those they force to labor for them. Oh, great. So not only do they uproot you and steal you, they're also jerks when they make you work for them. Thanks. Assholes. There's a fun story beat. Rebellion against the EFREET uprising. Bunch of forced laborers. I try and avoid certain words this early into the video, but yeah. Uprising. Take the big house. Stomp that devil man's head. Alright, let's move on before I start getting a little too wound up. Planar Raiders. Most EFREET reside on the elemental plane of fire, either in great domed fortresses of black glass and basalt surrounded by churning lakes of fire, or in the fabled city of brass. Additionally, EFREET military outposts thronging with their minions can be found scattered throughout the plains. That's crazy. Your mama's panties are thronging with my minions. No, wait. It's better if it's your mama's thronging with my minions. Thronging with my minions. On the material plane, EFREET dwell in fiery regions such as volcanoes and the burning expanses of the world's deserts. Their love of the desert brings them into conflict with the jinn that ride the desert whirlwinds, and with the earthbound Tao. EFREET utterly despise Marids, with whom they have maintained a passionate conflict through the history of both races. Alright, well then there's something worth learning about. The Tao and the Jinn.
You hate me, don't you?
These guys hate everybody.
No, I don't hate you.
Everybody hates everybody. I think I know that once you start getting into, like, genies and devils and stuff like that. Oh, Marids? I do know what those are. Those are, like, water guys, little water frog men. A painted woman. All right, we always got to do an accent for these. Her caliph from a magic. All right, we got it. We got a character. The armies of the Grand Sultan are bolstered by legions of devils, his palace warded by the spells of 1,000 arch-magi, his treasures guarded by red dragons and fire elementals. No one has plundered the EFREETI's fabled vaults and lived to tell the tale. By the grace of 1,000 winds, you could be the first. A genie enticing adventurers to free her caliph from a magic lamp in the charcoal palace of the city of brass. I just want to take a quick second to remind you that I have a Patreon, and if you head over and subscribe at the free tier, you get 2 watch-alongs each month, and you can sync up with me in whatever movie we're watching. I also do a monthly system-agnostic one-shots available at the $5 and $10 tiers, and a monthly interview series where I talk to creators of all kinds. Head on over to patreon.com/tabletoptrashcan if you like what we're doing here. Alright, time to start looking at some daggone stat blocks. EFREETI, large elemental, lawful evil. Armor class 17, natural armor, 200 hit points, speed of 40 feet with a fly speed of 60. Crazy. Damn. So this is a big fight. This is a high level fight. Challenge, yeah, we're jumping ahead a little bit, but yeah, okay. Strength, 22 for a +6. Dex, 12 for a +1. That's surprising. So these things are not dexterous. The way to fight these is to hit them when they're moving. Hit them with things that attack the dexterity. Constitution, 24 +7. Intelligence, 16 +3. Wisdom, 15 +2. Charisma, 16 +3. They have saving throws of an intelligence +7, wisdom +6, and a charisma +7. They are immune to fire. They have dark vision up to 120 feet. They speak Ignan, and they are a challenge of 11, a challenge rating 11. So that makes sense. Pretty tough. I will say at right now, if it was 1-on-4, depending on how many attacks, I'm trying not to read ahead. I'm not reading ahead. Depending on how many attacks this thing has, it may not be as tough of a challenge as it seems, because it only has a +2 on its wisdom and a +1 on its dexterity. That's 2 big weak points to attack, to like target with this thing. Elemental demise. If the EFREETI dies, its body disintegrates in a flash of fire and puff of smoke, leaving behind only equipment the EFREETI was wearing or carrying. So, alright, they pop into smoke like Ceres at the end of Galaxy Quest. Innate spellcasting. They cast spells. Fuck. Innate spellcasting. The EFREETI's innate spellcasting ability is Charisma, which is only a +3. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Charisma or intelligence, they'd both be a +3. Spell save DC 15, +7 to hit. It can innately cast the following spells: at will, detect magic, 3 a day each, enlarge, reduce, and tongues, and then 1 a day each. Conjure elemental, but only a fire elemental can be conjured. Gaseous form, invisibility, major image, plane shift, and wall of fire. So they can cast every one of those spells, and that's significant. So I retract my statement. This would not be as easy of a fight, 4-1. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, depending on your level. This would be a boss fight for level 6, 4 level 6s. Let's move on to actions. I'm waving my microphone around, so it sounds weird. I'll try and stabilize it. Actions. Multi-attack. The EFREETI make 2 scimitar attacks or use it as hurl flame twice. So it only gets 2 attacks, but it gets to use a ranged spell attack twice. So let's jump ahead to scimitar. Scimitar is +10 to hit. Reach of 5, single target, hits for 13 or 2d6 plus 6 plus 7 or 2d6 fire. So it hits for 7, or it hits for slashing and fire. Then the Hurl Flame, which can be used twice, is a ranged spell attack, plus 7 to hit, range of 120 feet, one target, hits for 17 or 5d6 fire damage. Damn, so you could hit significantly hard if you hit with both those Hurl Flame attacks. You'd be rolling 10d6 for both of them. That'd be fun to roll at the table. Oh, God. Let's look at the elemental. Conjuring an elemental, casting time is a minute. Oh, it takes a minute to cast. An elemental challenge rating 5 or lower, so it would have to be fire though. Here we go. This is what you would conjure. Fire elemental is a strength of 10 plus 0, 17 dex plus 3, 16 con plus 3, 6 intelligence minus 2, 10 wisdom plus 0, 7 charisma minus 2. Has 102 hit points and armor class of 13 and is a challenge rating of 5. It is immune to a bunch of stuff. It resists bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. It is immune to fire and poison. It is immune to being grappled. It is immune to exhaustion. It is immune to being paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, put into the prone position, restrained, or being unconscious. It has dark vision up to 60 feet and a passive perception of 10, and it does speak Ignan. Now, this and an EFREETI on the battlefield by themselves, maybe with some imps, would be so chaotic and fun. That is a freaking fight right there. I think I might have used these at one point, but not really like dove into them. I just looked at the stat block and was like, cool, yeah, perfect. These are fantastic. That's honestly, it's such a testament to this game. Like, I haven't found anything I haven't been like, this is cool, I like this, this is great. Like, nothing's been amiss so far. You know, it's just such a testament. Anyway, let me know what you thought of these. I really think these are fantastic. They're obviously horrible. They're awful people. But from a design element, for bad guys, as a DM, these are great bad guys. These are some of the best bad guys you could ask for. Yeah, let me know what you think of them, if you've used them, all that kind of stuff. And as you know, like, subscribe. It helps me a ton. And as always, be good, be kind, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Bye. I love you. Bye.